Hey, darling. Today's life lesson was that God is not always on our time, but He is always on time, and that He does not promise you an easy life. He doesn't promise you that there won't be hard times. His path is not always easy. So I wanted to share a small story about that and when that had happened to me just recently. About a year ago, things changed pretty drastically at my company I was at that I'd been at for years. And I wasn't super happy about the change, but I tried to give it a chance. And it seemed like every bad day at the job, every time that something would just go horribly wrong, there was this other opportunity that kept presenting itself at that same time. Like I'd have a bad morning, and that afternoon, that opportunity would come. And after a handful of times of it happening, I was like, all right, Lord, I hear you. You're trying to tell me to take this opportunity. And I had this whole idea in my head of what this amazing new opportunity would be. I was going to be changing industries. I was going to be learning something new, and I was so excited about all of it. So I start this new company. I put in my 2 weeks notice. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I start my new company, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Like within the first week, things start going bad. And I was there for about 3 months, and the entire time it was horrible. I mean, every time, like I kept thinking I was going to give this company a chance, something else would happen that just, oh wow, this is horrible. I had multiple different times that there were car accidents on my way to work that I was late, and I'm never late. Just little things that just kept happening to where the company didn't like me and I didn't like the company. It was just a bad fit all the way around. And it was a very odd position for me to be in because I knew this is my path. I knew this is where God wanted me to be, but I was miserable and I did not understand, Lord, why? And it was a small test of faith because I kept trying to, like, why? I know you wanted me here, Lord, but I'm miserable here. Why are you putting me through this horrible thing? And I kept telling my family and everybody, I know that at some point in time it's all going to make sense. I just don't see why yet. So I just kept getting up and I kept going and being just miserable because I knew something better was coming. And lo and behold, like at one point, a job posting comes across for a company back in the industry that I used to be in, that I love being in, but it's a long drive away. I would have never taken that position beforehand. I would have never been willing to travel like that, but because God had put me in such a miserable position, He'd put me in such a state of desperation, I was now willing to drive that. I was willing to listen to an opportunity that was presented to me because I was broken down into desperation. And I interviewed, and the second I drove onto that company's property, I knew. My whole body told me, like, this is it. My little Holy Spirit in the back of my head said this is where you needed to be. And I recognized that 3 months of being miserable at this company was so that the Lord could break me down into a point of desperate so that I would be willing to take the opportunity He presented at me. And now I absolutely adore the company that I'm at, and I am starting to really enjoy going to work again. And that's why today's life lesson was about that. Sometimes you're going to be in a bad position and it's where He wanted you to be. Because sometimes He has to break you all the way down. He has to get you to the point of desperate, or He has to put you in positions to learn lessons. God does not promise an easy life, y'all. He does promise He'll be there for you. He does promise He'll be there, but He does not promise things are going to be easy. And in fact, sometimes He's going to have to put you through some hardships to learn some hard lessons. He is not always on our time, but God is always on time. I hope you all had an amazing day, and thank you.